Hey everyone, it's me, Sarah from SavageDisneyPins. If you're new to our channel, thanks for joining us today. If you've been around, thanks for coming back. I'm bringing you something a little bit different today. So it looks like Disney parks are starting to reopen soon. They are probably going to be looking a little bit different than they did before, but I wanted to bring you some tips and tricks on how to get free stuff at Disneyland Resort. The last few years, Rocky and I have been annual pass holders, so we go quite often, and Disney trips can get really expensive. I definitely wanted to share some free items that we've come across over the last few years. Things are probably going to look a little bit different when the parks reopen. Just keep that in mind, but most likely a number of these things will still be available, and if they're not available right away, they will eventually come back to being available once the parks are back up to full capacity and full working status. The very first thing that you can get for free in the parks is a map. Now you might be saying, Sarah, I go to Disneyland all the time. I don't need a map. It's in here. That's fine. You don't need a map. I like to grab the maps because they change with the seasons and the festivals and things like that. So to me, they're a really awesome souvenir to take home with me. A parade one. This one was from Halloween time. This really awesome one from when Galaxy's Edge opened. It's like a really nice thick paper. And these were only out for, I don't know, a really short amount of time. They're just a fun way to kind of keep track of what was happening each trip that we take. So I always grab one or two of them to bring home with me. Also, they're kind of a good way to see how the park has changed throughout your Disney journey. So when we first got our annual passes, Galaxy's Edge didn't exist. So it was just this void on the map up in the top corner. Cut to this, and now it exists on the map. The other place you can get a free map is the Jungle Cruise. I've never gotten one myself. However, I have been told that if you go and ask your skipper at the end of the ride, they'll give you a printout map of the Jungle Cruise. And it's kind of like a coloring page, so your kids can color it in, or they can follow along if you guys go on it again. And I looked at pictures online. It looks really cute, so that'd be a fun thing. It's definitely a goal for me to grab one next time I go. The other thing I like to grab right away when I enter in the parks is a button. They give out free buttons for birthdays, anniversaries, I'm celebrating, things like that. So on every trip I go on, I grab an I'm celebrating button, and I always write down why I'm there. So maybe Rocky and I were celebrating an anniversary or a birthday, or this one was in February of 2019, and I was celebrating friendship. So I went with a big group of friends, and we all flew down to Disneyland and spent a couple days together. So that's what this one is for. Here's an example of the Happily Ever After pin. Rocky and I got this one when we were celebrating our anniversary. And then I got this Honored Citizen one. I think I answered a trivia question or something like that. So they gave me this one, which was super cool. And sometimes they have buttons that they're handing out right at the turnstiles. And those will be for movie releases, or in this case, it was Mickey's birthday. And if you happen to be an annual pass holder, there's places around the park that you can go and get a special button just for annual pass holders. So this one was when the live action Lion King was coming out. They gave you a free button for that. Something that I think a lot of people don't necessarily know before they go is that the Disneyland app and the Disney Play app are both free. We utilize both of those apps. They're two separate apps, and we utilize them so much throughout the park. In the Disneyland app, you can view wait times, you can find when and where characters are going to show up, you can reserve dining, you can order food ahead at certain places, so you don't have to stand in line. You just mobile order ahead, pick it up at the window when it's ready. Super easy. All of that stuff can be done on the app, and the app is free. The other app is the Disney Play app. That one's free as well, and that one's really nice, especially if you have kids or a group of people with you, because you can play games and trivia and things like that, and then you earn achievements. So it's always nice to kind of like, you earn a little badge every time you do something. And then if you're a pin collector like myself, if you earn certain badges, there are pins that you can buy, and you have to show them that you've completed that badge, and then you get a pin that matches. So that's really cool. Love those. They're some of my favorite pins. They're all really cute. I also suggest, if you've never used either of the apps before, Download them before you get there, play around with them at home just so you can navigate a little bit if you're staying at one of the Disneyland resorts and you have little kids with you, if you decide to go swimming, you can actually get free rentals of life jackets and like pool floaties, which is really cool. And then they also have free pool diapers if you have super little ones that still need the diapers in the pool. The other thing is, if you go to the Grand California Hotel, they do free Disneyland Resort hotel tours. So they take you up to some of the super special rooms and things like that. And we've never done one of those. Definitely gonna try and do one of those the next time we go, because some of the rooms are really, really cool. There's like a Thunder Mountain room and a Pirates of the Caribbean room. So they take you on a tour and show you one of the special suites at the Disneyland Resort. The other thing that's really special if you're staying at one of the hotels is that you can actually request that Mickey call you for your wake-up call. So he calls your room and says, you know, it's time to wake up now and get ready for the day and have a magical day. And that's just a really nice little special touch. Start your day off with a little bit of Disney magic. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that the Fast Pass system at Disneyland is free to use. All you need to do is take your Disneyland ticket to one of the Fast Pass booths. You stick your ticket in and it prints out a Fast Pass ticket for you. And that Fast Pass ticket will have your return time to go back onto that ride. And that's totally free. They do have the Max Pass, which you can use through your Disney Parks app. And that's not free, but you can utilize the free paper Fast Pass system. Just make sure you don't lose those paper tickets, because then your Fast Pass goes away. Did you know that you can get recipes of any of the Disney food, any of their standard food? So none of the holiday or specialty dishes, but anything that's just regularly on any of their menus throughout the year, you can go to City Hall or Chamber of Commerce in California Adventure and ask them for one of their recipes. Whenever I go visit one of those spots to get a recipe, I always ask the cast member that I'm talking to what their favorite recipe is. We've tried so much of the food in the parks and like so much of it and have been able to get recipes over the years that I always ask them what their favorite recipe is, and then they go and get that one for me. So I get something new and different. Sometimes it's a sauce, sometimes it's a full meal. So that's really cool and fun. And then you get to make Disney magic at home because you have the recipe. You can also go to the Dole Whip stand outside of the Tiki Room, and sometimes they have pineapple recipes that they'll give you on a little card. So moving into Tomorrowland, which is my favorite land because it has Space Mountain. It also has like one of my least favorite rides of all time, which is Astro Blasters. I'm just like really bad at the game, so I don't like to ride it. And I've done it so many times and I just can't get good at it. I just am terrible at it. However, they take a ride photo on it and you can get that emailed to you for free. I'm really terrible at Astro Blasters, but on the other side of things, I'm really, really good at Toy Story Mania, and I kick Rocky's butt every time we go on that. I don't know where the picture is either, so I'm always like so intently looking down the scope of the blaster. It's so ridiculous. But the pictures generally are pretty funny because I don't know where it is, so I don't know where to look. And they're free. You just, right as you get off the ride, there's all these computer screens and you just type in your email address and it emails it to you. So it doesn't print it or anything. You don't get a printed copy, but you can print it from your email address. And that's really cool. And it has your score and everything like that. Character meet and greets. They're all over Disneyland. Sometimes there's a line, but they don't cost you anything to go talk to these characters. So you can meet with them, take pictures with them, get their autographs. All of that is free. If you want any of the pictures that the cast members take, you either have to have the Max Pass because you get your free photos with that, or you have to purchase those pictures. They'll take pictures with your phone or camera as well. So all of that is free for you, which is really, really great. You could spend the entire day just going from character greet to character greet. It's a lot of fun to do that. You have some really great conversations and nonverbal conversations with a lot of different characters that way, and it's free. So now if we move across the courtyard and head into California Adventure, there's a handful of free things over there as well. There's a couple food items that I like to go grab every time I visit California Adventure. Over at the Cozy Cone Motel, they'll give you a free sample of their specialty popcorn of the day. So they have dill pickle and cheddar, and sometimes they have some like super weird flavors, and they'll just give you like a little sample cup of their popcorn. And I love popcorn. So I usually end up buying some popcorn too, but they'll give you a sample, which is really nice. And then you can also get a little slice of bread if you do the Boudin Bakery Tour. The bakery tour is like a walk-through hallway. It's not like a super long thing. It'll take you 15 seconds, literally. Somebody's there, hands you a piece of bread, and then you just walk down a hallway. But they do make all the bread there, and it's actually really cool. And then right across the street from the Boudin Bakery, every once in a while, the Ghirardelli shop will hand out little pieces of Ghirardelli chocolate squares. There was a while that they stopped doing that and then brought it back for a hot second. So it's hit or miss on that one, but you can always go in and ask if they're doing the free chocolate samples. You get a free square of Ghirardelli chocolate, and it's delicious. If you hit up Chamber of Commerce or Starbucks in California Adventure, there's a newspaper that you can get that's all about California Adventure, and it's updated quarterly, and it's really nice to just kind of sit and read through it as you enjoy your coffee. One of my all-time favorite things to do in California Adventure is go to the Animation Academy. This is something that I didn't know existed until a couple years ago. Now I go every time I visit the parks. You go in and you get a free drawing lesson from a Disney animator, and you get to take home your picture. So this was one of the nephews, and then you sign it and you date it, and you get to take this home with you. And I like to keep these from each trip and show off my art skills. They make it really easy for you to be able to draw these things. Super easy. This was Rocky's. We also did some Jack Jack, and then Rocky made like muscle Jack Jack. So there were some liberties on that one taken, but totally free. The class is about a half an hour long, and they give you the paper, the pencil, and they walk you through everything, and it is so much fun. Definitely do that. It's also in like a nice, cool, air-conditioned space. So that's really nice too on a hot day. And they do the classes every half hour, and they post a schedule outside of the entrance of what time different characters are going to be. So if you specifically want to draw Eeyore, go over there, take a look at their calendar, see if Eeyore is on the docket for the day, and come back at that time. We're generally not too picky about who we want to draw, so we just go whenever we feel like getting out of the sun for a little bit. Continuing our walk through California Adventure, head over to the Redwood Creek Trail Challenge. Redwood Creek Trail. And if you have a little one with you, they can become a junior park ranger and they get a little sticker. Honestly, everybody at Disneyland is a little kid. So if you want to become a junior park ranger as an adult, they will also allow that. And you get a little sticker too. Sometimes when there's events happening at California Adventure, they will have craft tables set up and little kids can do these little cute little craft projects. So when we were there back in November, they had all of the holiday stuff set out, and you could color an ornament, or you could build a little paper dreidel and color that in. And then for Lunar New Year, they had these fans that you could color in. And so they had these little tables set up, and you could go do that for free. Free. So there's so many free things that you can do at Disneyland. One of my all-time favorite free things to do at Disneyland is pin trading. Now, you obviously have to buy the pins first and foremost. You can get them before you go on your trip, so you'll have them ready to go right when you get there. Trading with other cast members and on the pin boards is totally free. Rocky and I have literally spent an entire day just running around trying to find special pins. And it's so much fun, and you get to talk to really awesome cast members, new souvenirs that you didn't start with. And obviously, I love my pins, so I pretty much do that all day long, every day, every time we go to Disneyland, in between the rides. Lanyard, pin board, boo, 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 boo. I get so distracted at Disneyland when there's pins around. Rocky will be like walking that way, and I'll be like, pins, bye. I'll go that way. And then he has to find me. The very last thing that I want to talk about that you can get for free at Disneyland is water. You don't need to buy bottles of water. The bottles of water there are like 4 or $5 a piece. What we like to do is we just bring in our reusable water bottles, and then we ask for cups of ice water at any quick service. A lot of times they'll give you these little cups of ice water. You can just ask for a bigger one. A lot of times they'll give them to you, especially if you explain to them that you're filling up a bigger water bottle. And that way you have your water. This is a great size. Just pop it in your bag and you have this all day long and you can continue to refill it. So bring your reusable water bottle, ask for cups of ice water, stay hydrated on those super hot days throughout the park, and you're doing a lot of walking. So make sure you drink your water. I have one more tip for you. It's not free, but Disneyland lets you bring in your own food and drinks. So you can bring in snacks like dried fruit and granola bars and goldfish and things like that. And that will help you reduce the cost of your eating throughout the day. And especially if you're with a kid and they need a snack when you're standing in a hour-long line for Thunder Mountain in the sun, water and snacks. Bring them with you. Okay, well, I hope that this helped, gave you some ideas of some ways to reduce the cost of your Disney trip. If you know of any other additional items that I missed or things that you like to do in the Disneyland parks that are free, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. If you enjoyed our video, click like. Boop. For more content, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye. As the world turns, it's like sands in the hourglass, and so are the days of our lives.